Hello everyone, welcome to PrimeEducare and Complete Institution for JEE and NEET. We discussed in the last lecture about the definite integral, and also today we discuss an integral which we also discussed about in last lecture, right? This particular integral is not a even function, like this function is not an even function and not seems like a odd function. Then we have another rule which is something like that. Rule is, if our integration is from minus a to a and we have f of x dx, then we can express this result as integration 0 to a f of x plus f of minus x dx. This rule is applicable here, and if we want to verify this result or this rule, let consider an example. Example is like, take f of x is something x square, right, and we want to find out the integration of f of x from minus 1 to 1 f of x dx, right. Now first of all we want to find out this particular function of integration of this particular function in general method, which is minus 1 to 1 and x square dx, and if we integrate this x square as x cube over 3 minus 1 to 1 and put the upper limit is 1 over 3 and put the lower limit is minus 1 over 3 and calculate this particular thing is minus minus plus, and we get the 2 by 3 as answer, right. Now we apply this rule in this particular formula, and what rule we have, that if any integration that no need to be this function is even and odd, right. Now minus a to a limit, we have the limit is minus 1 to 1 and the function is x square, right. Then we have to put this integral as minus 1 to 1 f of x dx as 0 to 1 f of x plus f of minus x dx. Let's what we get. Now this particular thing is 0 to 1 and f of x is x square and also plus f of minus x. F of minus x is also x square, right. Then this is x square dx, and we get x square plus x square is 2x square, 0 to 1 2x square dx, and here we get the integral of this particular function is 2 into x cube over 3, and we put the value of limit 2 is here and upper limit 1 over 3 minus 0, and we get 2 over 3, right. Yes or no? Yes sir, we get 2 over 3, and what we get earlier 2 over 3, right. That this particular identity is verified. Now we can apply this formula in this particular question, and we have the question is, since question is minus 1 to 1 and we have to find out the integration of this function 3 raised to power x plus 3 raised to power minus x, 3 raised to power x plus 3 raised to power minus x over 1 plus 3 to the power x, 1 plus 3 to the power x. okay, and then dx. Now let's consider this function is f of x. Let f of x is equal to 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x divided by 1 plus 3 to the power x. And if we put minus x instead of x, we get 3 to the power minus x plus 3 to the power minus of minus x is plus x and divide by 1 plus 3 to the power minus x. Got it? Okay. Now we put these functions in the our formula, and formula is as if we have integration minus 1 to 1 or minus a to a, f of x dx is equal to, is nothing but equal to integration 0 to 1 f of x plus f of minus x dx, right? And if we put this particular formula in this form is integration minus 1 to 1 minus 1 to 1 3 raised to power x plus 3 raised to power minus x over 1 plus 3 to the power x dx equal to, right, this particular formula is work as this integration 0 to 1. Now we have f of x. What the f of x is something like that 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x over 1 plus 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x plus 3 to the power x over 1 plus 3 to the power minus x. Isn't it? There's something. And if we take common this particular thing, if we take this thing 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x, because the numerator of these two functions are same, then we can common this particular thing. Now 0 to 1 and 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x can get out of this bracket, and 1 over 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 3 to the power x, right, and this particular thing 1 over this thing is 1 over 1 plus 3 to the power minus x dx, right. Now integration 0 to 1, this 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x as it is, and we can write this particular thing as 1 plus 3 to the power x plus 1 over 1 plus 3 to the power minus x. We can write this thing is 1 over 3 to the power x. Yes or no? Yes sir. Now 0 to 1, 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x, we get here 1 over 1 plus 3 to the power x plus, if we take LCM of 3 to the power x, then 3 to the power x is multiplied by 1 and then goes upside or numerator. This will be 3 to the power x divided over 1 plus 3 to the power x. Yes or no? Then again we take LCM. Now 3 to the power x and plus 3 to the power minus x as it is, and we get, if we take LCM 1 plus 3 to the power x, then we get in the numerator is 3 to the power x over 1 plus 3 to the power x dx. Now this will be cancel out. Yes or no? This thing 3 to 1 plus 3 to the power and 1 plus 3 to the power x is cancel out, and only we have this thing is equal to 0 to 1, 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power minus x dx. Yes or no? Now we integrate this thing, and what is this? It seems like integration, right? Integration of x, integration of e raised to power x, right? Then the integration of e raised to power x is e raised to power x. Why? If we write here, since integration of ln, integration of a to the power x dx is equal to a to the power x divided by ln a plus c. This rule, because ln e is 1, then integration of e raised to power x is e raised to power x, right? Now we apply this formula at here, and we get this thing, 3 to the power x over ln 3 plus 3 to the power minus x, right? And over what we have, right? This is the, and integration of this particular x is divide 1, and this will be negative, right? Because we divide the differentiation of this thing, right? Then if we integrate 3 to the power minus x, we get this thing, minus of 3 to the power minus x divided by ln 3. Yes or no? And limit is 0 to 1. Okay. Now further we calculate this thing, as we get, and what we have this thing, right? Negative and 0 to 1. 3 to the power x over ln 3 minus 3 to the power minus x over ln 3 ln 3 0 to 1, right? Now we put upper limit, and upper limit will be 3 to the power 1 is 3, and lower limit is 3 to the power 3, right? It's the ln 3 as it is, and negative of 1, 3 to the power minus 1 divided by ln 3. You got it? Yes or no? And upper limit minus lower limit now. Now we put 0 at here. 3 to the power 0 is 1, 1 over ln 3 minus 3 to the power minus 0, it is also 0, and 3 to the power 0 is 1, then we get this thing is ln 3, and ln 3 will be cancelled out from ln 3, therefore this thing is 0, and we get here is 3 over ln 3 minus, here we can put that thing, this thing is something like that, 1 over 3 ln 3, right? If we put there down, because this thing is also, sorry, this is not the same as we write this expression, we can write here as 1 over 3 in the numerator, and denominator is ln 3, right? And if we take LCM of ln 3, because there is also ln 3 and there is also ln 3, then we can take the LCM of ln 3, and we get 3 minus 1 over 3 over ln 3, and we get 3 multiplied by 3 is 9 minus 1 over 3, and divide by ln 3, and also 9 minus 1 is 8, divided by 3 ln 3. Okay, I think you got it. And if we moreover take their rule, particular the power rule, then we can take this 3 in the power of 3 like that, ln 3 to the power 3, and we also get 8 ln 9, and this will be our final answer. This will be our final answer, right? Okay, now move forward for the next question. Is the next question, okay, reduction formula in particular form is the reduction formulas in the definite integral. And what we have, since the reduction formula in definite, not the indefinite integral, this is the definite integral, any formula which express in the integral in terms of another which is simpler is reduction formula for the first integral, and the successive application of the reduction formula enables us to express the integral of the general member of class functions in the terms of that simplest member of the class. Now what means of the it? Then the reduction formula, what is the reduction formula? If we put something interesting, if we have this something type of the integration is 2x over x square. Okay, now we don't know that the if we can do this integral by the cut of this power this something, and we can't, right? Now we can't have any distraction of this particular thing if x plus 1 over, we get x plus 1 over like that. If we have x over x plus 1 dx, this particular formula. Now we don't uh, know that how we calculate this particular thing. Let's suppose that we have what the mean of, exactly mean of the reduction formula, that try to understand that if we have taking an example as if we uh, want to integrate this particular thing, and we have something x over x plus 1 dx. Okay, now we want to calculate this particular thing, but we don't have any method to calculate this, right? Now we substitute a value that reduce of this particular thing, that this function in another function, and we have to integrate that function, right? Try to understand. If we put x plus 1 is equal to x plus 1 is equal to t, and if differentiate this is dx equal to dt, right? And we put this substitutions in the general form, then we get integration of x over this x plus 1, right, dx. We get here, put this t as in terms of this x plus 1 is equal to t, and what the value of x, because we have to put the value of x also, and x plus x is t minus 1, where from we get it, since x plus 1 is t, that therefore x is t minus 1, and we put t minus 1 instead of x, and then dx equal to dt. And if we want to integrate this particular thing is divide t in both sides 1 minus 1 over t, because we divide t by t, then they will be cancel out, and minus 1 over t dt, right. And we easily calculate this particular thing is integrate of t is 1 is t, and integrate of 1 over t is log of or ln of t, or because this integral is definite integral and there is no limit, then if the integration have no limit, then we add on an arbitrary constant, and any limit is there, then we can't need to add this particular constant. Therefore, we get this result. Okay, and if want to give the result in terms of x, it is also same as put the value of t, and t is x plus 1 and minus log of t, and t is x plus 1, and this will be our final answer in terms of x, because our given question is in terms of x, then we have to find the answer in terms of x also, right. Therefore, the meaning of this reduction formula is this: if we can't calculate this particular integral, then we reduce this into the simpler form, right, into the simpler form. Okay, now next question, we have this particular question, and the question is 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 6 x dx. Okay, we calculate this integral in form of integration. Let this this integral is I6 and it is 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 6x dx. Now we can divide this power to sine to the power 4x and sine to the power 2x dx, right, and then 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 4x, we can write this thing is 1 minus cos square dx. Yes or no? We can write sine square x is 1 minus cos square x dx. Now we have to reduce this particular formula. If we put this cos square x into t, then we get 2 sine, differentiate this thing, we get 2 cos x minus sin x dx equal to dt. Yes or no? And further we put this our function, right. Now we put this thing in there, or another method is also this method is something long method. We discuss another method, and method is from by part. And what is the by part? By part, we do this integration by parts. And by parts, what is the by parts? If we have any two functions g of x and f of x dx, something like that, then we have to consider one function is first function and second function is second function, right? From both of these, and also there a trick from select the who which function is first function is the islet. Something like that. Islet. I means inverse function, L means logarithmic, A means something algebraic function, T means is trigonometric function, and E means is uh, exponential functions, right? Then we have to order these function in this way, right? If we have inverse function, then we get, give them the number 1. Then if have any logarithmic function, we give them number first, and also this like that, okay? And we have any two function from this two function, let g is logarithmic function and f of x is something trigonometric function, then which get the number 1, then we from this rule, islet rule, we can give logarithmic function as first function or second function is algebraic function. Okay, from both of these we don't know that who function is what, that we give g as first function and f of x is as a second function, and do the integration is first is at as it is, first function is at as it is, like g of x is as it is, g of x is as it is, and integrate second function minus sign of integration, differentiation of first function, and integration of second function, and again dx. This will be the answer of this integration, right? Now we want to make this function is first function and this function is second function, right? And we put the values of our function, and this by part we solve this, try to solve this question by parts, and this is first function and first function is as it is, and sine to the power 4x is as it is, then integration of sine squared x, right? And what is the integration of sine square x? Sine square x dx minus this capital integration and differentiate of this, and we get 4 sine cube x, because differentiation of sine to the power 4x is 4 sine cube x, and differentiation of sine also is cos, okay? And integration of this second power of sine, this thing sine integration of sine square x dx and dx, and then put the limit is something like that, okay? Okay, no problem. Now what is the integration of sine square x? Sine to the power 4 x as it is. What is the integration of sine square x? Since we don't know the what is the integration of sine square x, we convert them in the particular formula. We know that formula of cos 2x. Since cos 2x is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square x, and cos 2x is also 2 sine square x, 2 sine, sorry, not the 2, cos is also 2, that is plus, and also cos 2 2 cos square x minus 1 are this formula, and there the formula we use this thing. Okay. Now we have this function since cos 2x equal to 1 plus 2 sin square x, then we get sin square, we can put sin square x as cos 2x minus 1 divided by 2, right? We can put this thing at here and we get the result integration. What we have to put this sin square x is equal to cos 2x minus 1 divided by 2. So cos 2x minus 1 divided by 2 dx, and put all these things here, cos x sin cube x as it is, and this integration is also sin square x, then also we can put here integration, sorry, this is the integration of cos 2x minus 1 divided by 2 dx, and then limit 0 to pi by 2. Okay, now move forward, do this integration. Okay, now we do some mistake here. There it is true, but there is sign of minus, not plus. Okay, I have some doubt there. This formula is something like that, and if we find out the value of this is, because this is from plus or this minus, right? Now, all right. Therefore, this one of is plus sign, like means positive, and the cos is negative. Okay. Now, do the integration of this thing. We get sine to the power 4x, and integration of this thing is if we divide, or if we write here, this 2 is can be right here this, and cos 2x is sin 2x divided by 2, right? The integration of cos 2x is minus, sorry, differentiation of cos 2x is minus sin 2x, but the integration of cos 2x is sin 2x, and differentiation of 2x is 2, then it is divide, and 1 is x, and limit is 0 to pi by 2. Okay, are you fine, guys? Now, negative sign as it is, and integration of this particular sign is also a digit. This 2 will be cancelled from 2 to 2 times 2 cos x sin square x, and the sign of negative is also here. Okay, negative cos 2x, and there also integration of something, if we write limit here, then we can 0 to pi by 2, and minus cos 2x is put, the minus cos 2x is same as minus sin 2x, because minus is not the matter, minus sine 2x over 2 and plus x. Limit is 0 to pi by 2. Okay, okay, and we will get the result. Okay, there no need to form this limit. Now, if we put this limit in there, then the sine pi by 2 is 1 and 1 to the power 4 is 1. Okay, no problem. There, sine pi by 2. Okay, sine pi by 2 and 2 will be cancelled out from this. If we want to try this limit here, that pi by 2 is 1 and there is 0 and 0 plus pi by 2. Okay, now we get the limit here, and what is the limit? This, if we put upper limit there, then sine to the power 4, like 1 to the power 4, because in seated of x we put the upper limit, and upper limit is pi by 2 and sine pi by 2 is 1, 1 to the power 4 is also 1, then we get here 1, and this is 1 over 2. Okay, great. Now again 1 over 2 in the bracket, this will be 0 because pi, if we put pi in seated of x, 2 will be cancelled from 2 and their remaining part is only sine pi, and sine value of sine pi is 0. Therefore, this 0 divided by 2, which is 0, and a negative of 0 is also 0, 0 plus pi by 2, right? We get here 0 plus pi by 2. Okay, and in another integral it is clear, minus we have integration 0 to pi by 2, again there 2 cos sine square x, 2 cos sine square x, sorry, not cos square x, this is the sine square x, sine square or sine cube, this is the sine cube, not sine square. Okay, this is sine cube, sine cube and dx, and remaining part is same as this. Yes or no? Because the integration of this thing is also same, right? Yes or no? Now, if we put pi by 2 over here, okay, we not put the 0. There, if we put 0, lower limit, we get the result is 0. Why? Because we put minus lower limit, upper limit minus lower limit, and lower limit will be there, x is put 0 at the place of x, we get sine 0, and the value of sine 0 is 0, 0 is multiplied by something is 0, therefore we no need to put 0 here, right? Because this thing minus 0, right? And we no need to write here 0. Now this is also, and there, since this is 0 and this is plus pi by 2, and if we put 0 here, 0 plus 0 is 0, though, then we have pi by 2. Okay, okay. Now what is this? This is pi by 4 minus integration 0 to pi by 2, and 2 will be cancelled out from this 2, and we get pi cos x sine cube x, cos x sine cube x, right? Okay, no problem, dx. Now we have to integrate this thing, pi by 4 minus, we can taking out of pi this from this integral, and we can write it something. What? If we write cos t, right? Now there we can do some substitution, and substitution is uh, put sin x as, not sin x, sin square x, or sin x, okay, sin x. We put sin x is equal to t. Then we get, if we differentiate this, we get cos x dx equal to dt. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Okay, now pi by 4, negative this as it is, and we also change this limit. Now we can taking out this pi from this integral, and cos x, this cos x and this dx will be dt, and further we put sin x equal to t, then we get here is t cube, right? Now since we have this thing cos x dx equal to dt, and we have this particular thing is t cube dt, right? And we put here limit when sin 0 x 0, when x is 0 sin 0 0, then we get t is 0, and if x is pi by 2 sin pi by 2 is 1, then we get the limit of t is 1, right? It's simple. Now pi by 4 minus pi, and we get the t cube, integration of t cube is t to the power 4 as 4, and also this thing 0 to pi by 0 to 1, and we have there is pi by 4 minus pi, and we put the upper limit which is 1 by 4 because the power of 1 is 1, and lower limit is also 0, then we get pi by 4 minus pi by 4 0, and 0 will be our answer. Okay, this is another thing. We, if we have any another form of this particular integral is as, because we need not to solve this particular integral in the form of x or in the form of this integral we have, because there another method to solve this integral. Okay, now we try to second method. Now we try to second method. Let our integral is I6 and 0 to pi by 2 sin to the power 6 dx. Clear? Okay. Now we can divide the power 6 as sin to the power 6, not 6. This is, we can write here sin to the power 5x, and 1 another power is sin x, and dx. We can write it because the, if the base are same, then power will be added and something like that. Okay, now if we consider this function is first function and this function is second function, we apply here the by part rule, and by part is something like that. First function is as it is, sin 5 x is as it is, and the integration of this particular thing is minus cos x. So no? Yes sir, right? And we apply the limit 0 to pi by 2 minus integration of which, the differentiation of first integral or first function, the differentiation of first function is 5 sin to the power 4x, and differentiation of sin x is cos x, and integration of this sin x, integration of this sin x, because there is the limit 0 to pi by 2. Okay, and integration of second function is minus cos x, and limit of this particular function is 0 to pi by 2. All right. Okay. Now, if we put upper limit there, upper limit there, sine pi by 2 is 1 and 1 to the power 5 is 5, but there is also a function cos x, and if we put pi by 2 in the domain of cos, we get 0 because upper limit is 0, and also we put lower limit uh, put if we put lower limit 0 in sine, then the input of sine if 0, then sine is 0, right? If we put 0 input in the sine x, because sine 0 is 0, therefore 0 into something, because cos is 0 at pi by 2 and sine is 0 at 0, therefore this will be whole limit is 0. Okay, no problem, no problem. Now there is minus 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 plus. If we want to take it out, minus minus plus, and their only limit is there, minus minus plus minus, okay, 5 is getting out from it, and 0 to pi by 2, and we have there is sine to the power 4 and cos x. Okay, now again, this, what is this thing is, if we put pi by 2 here, this upper limit is 0 and minus lower limit, okay, and cos 0 is 1, and we get minus 1 also, and dx. Okay, there is also dx, and we have there is a minus of 5, 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 4 cos x dx. Okay, and there I6, we get the value of I6 is something like that. Again, we can do the integration of this thing is if it is first function and it is second function. Okay, now again we can do the by part. If I6 is equal to minus 5 integration 0 to pi by 2, and what we have this thing, sine to the power 4x is first integration and cos is second integration, sine to the power 4x cos x dx, which is the second integration, and it is the first integration, minus 5 integration 0 to pi by 2, and again, sorry, it is something a mistake. Okay, now we do the integration of this first function, this first function, and this is the second function. First function as it is, sine to the power 4x as it is, and second integration of cos x is the sine x. Yes or no? Okay, no problem. Again, we put here limit 0 to pi by 2 minus sign of integration, and differentiation of this thing is 4 sine cube. Yes or no? Yes sir. And here will be x cos x, and the differentiation of cos x is, sorry, again we have another cos x, because the differentiation of sine 4x is 4 sine cube x, and differentiation of sine is cos x, and again integration of cos x is sine 0 to pi by 2 dx. Okay, and we put limit of the particular function is 5 sine to the power 4x, and upper limit will be 1, then we get this thing, sine to the power 4, right? And what is there? If we put the limit over here is, we get 1, okay, because we put all the limit from this thing is here. If we put pi by 2, right, upper limit is pi by 2 and pi by 2 is here. Here is okay, clear. Now we put x as it is, we get 1 minus 0 and we get this thing. Again we have the particular thing is 1 minus 0 basically, and 1 minus 0 is 1 and something like that, 4 sine cube 3, and we move forward of this function is again by part and then solving this thing. We get, we put sine theta in something t, and also there also we put t and we get the result. Okay, here also we get the result because this thing is nothing but, if we put sine this is t, then the cos x dx is also we can find the answer. Okay, and we try to find out something, a formula. If we want to something like that, if there I equal to in equal to 0 to the power pi by 2 sine to the power n dx, then also we can find the formula of this particular thing, and we have to derive this, right. Now we have to derive this formula. Okay, let's consider this integral. Okay, now if we want to derive this formula, what is the formula of this particular thing is, consider again this integral. Let I6 is equal to 0 to pi by 2. This is the third method. Okay, third method. We have discussed two method in earlier, and this method is third method of solving this integral. If we consider I6 is this integral, then if we put I6 as 0 to pi by 4, sorry, pi by 2 sine to the power 5x and sine x dx, right. Now this is the first function and this is second function. We integrate this sine to the power 5x as it is, and the integration of sine x is minus cos x, and we put the limit here 0 to pi by 2 minus integration 0 to pi by 2, right, and the differentiation of this particular thing is 5 sine to the power 4x, right, and differentiation of sine x is cos x, and the integration of sine x is minus cos x. Okay, and we not the put the limit n here dx. Okay, now we will get the answer, or we will get this formula. Okay, we generalize this. Now this will be 0 because we calculate it earlier. This will be 0. Put the value of pi by 2, then pi by 2 cos pi by 2 is 0, and put the 0 is here, then sine 0 will be 0, then this quantity will be 0, and this minus minus plus and 5 will get out from this integral, and minus minus plus, and we have 0 to pi by 2 this sine to the power 4x and cos square x dx, and again 5 integration 0 to pi by 2, we put sine to the power 4x sine to the power 4x multiply by what will be write this cos square x is can be write as 1 minus sine square x, dx, and there is I6. Right. Now we have I6 equal to 5 integration of pi by 2 sine to the power 4x 1 minus sine square x dx, and if we multiply this sine to the power 4x in the bracket, we get sine to the power 4x and minus sine to the power 6x, sine to the power 6x dx. And if we uh, separate these integrals, this something sine to the power 4x and minus multiply the 5 inside, minus 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 6x dx, and we get also there is dx also come sine to the power 4x dx, and then now what we have to get, this is I6 and we can write it 5 as it is, we can write it I4, and minus 5 as it is, we also write this integral is I6. Right, now we comes there, then this minus is plus, and if we comes out this something that 1 plus 5 is 6 I6 equal to 5 I4. Therefore, we get the value of I6 is 5 by 6 I4, and from this integral we have the value of In. If our In is something this, if our In is 0 to pi by 2, limit is 0 to pi by 2, and sine n dx, sine to the power n x dx, we can write here, if there is n, then there n minus 1 over n and I n minus 2. Right, we get the formula of this particular integral. Okay, then we have to discuss three methods of this particular integral. Okay, the formula, if the in the option we can apply this formula In equal to, if In is this, then the solution of this is n minus 1 divided by n n minus 2, and we further solve this thing, we get the result. Okay, now we hope you are understand what we read, and in the next lecture we discuss more examples, more questions of the definite integration. Until, thank you very much.